This video shows you how to get started with DataNation. We show you how to view the maps and census data in the service. We look at some census data on education in Edinburgh and upload some external data on schools funding to start exploring data patterns. So first, a quick tour of the service. In the map window, you can zoom in and out and pan around. You can zoom in by double-clicking or tapping. You can also zoom in and out with the plus and minus signs on the scale bar. To move around, just click or touch the map and move in any direction. Once you've zoomed in beyond regional maps, you can choose between contemporary ordnance survey maps, aerial photography or historic maps with the Base Maps tool. In the sidebar, you can select the census data you want to view. Just select any variable to view it. The variables are grouped into individual, household, and neighbourhood categories. You can also add your own data from a CSV file, use drawing tools to add text, shapes and symbols, plus you can measure distance or areas. You can collapse the sidebar to view more map, adjust the width of the sidebar with the double arrow. Our top toolbar has a Save Map Image option, plus a search box. So let's start by zooming into Edinburgh. Let's view some census data. We want the no qualification census layer. Just select the layer to add it to your map. We can see that the areas with the highest percentage of people without any formal qualifications are concentrated in these areas in the north, west and southeast of the city. You can pan around to explore the map and view the spatial information. To view more details of the data for any area, just select the area on the map. The full census statistics are then visible in the sidebar. You can then click on the table to view data as a pie chart, which could then lead on to a discussion about the best way to present that data. Now I want to show you how to upload external data. I have a CSV file with some data on schools in Edinburgh who receive more than £100,000 in pupil equity funding in a given year. This is funding allocated to schools from the Scottish Government to close the poverty-related attainment gap. Start by selecting Add Your Own Data, select Choose File, navigate to your CSV file and select Open. Now select Import and points representing the schools are added to the map. Using the options, we can customise the display of the data, selecting different markers to represent primary and secondary schools. We can label each point with the funding amount allocated. Then pan and zoom around the map to explore the data. We can see clearly that these schools correspond with areas where there's a high percentage of people without formal qualifications. You can click on any of the school markers to view the information that was in the uploaded CSV file. You can see the school name, stage, funding amount and postcode. Let's turn off those labels before we zoom out to make our map clearer. We can select a different census data layer to compare these maps against. For example, the percentage of households with no cars, or percentage of households that are socially rented. Finally, let's look at the neighbourhood classifications. You can see a pattern across the city, but then zoom in to see more detail around the actual schools. You can click any area on the map and see the neighbourhood description in the sidebar. You can also select a different base map to view our schools against. Select Base Maps on the map window to see the options. Today are the contemporary ordnance survey maps. Aerial and Aerial X are high quality aerial mapping. Aerial X has place names and major road names added to it. Then we have historic ordnance survey maps from the 1950s or 1890s. Let's select 1890s on the left, Today on the right, Then move the slider bar left. You can do this in stages to fade between the two maps. I'm moving it all the way to the left to see the 1890s on its own. These base maps introduce lots of possibilities for debate and discussion. In this example, you can see the schools with PEF funding are all on the outskirts of the city, in areas that weren't developed in the 1890s. You could talk about the growth of a city and changes in industry or transport over that period. You could talk about why cities grow in the way that they do and why these areas on the outskirts might experience more social deprivation. I hope that's been a useful introduction to DataNation. We'd love to get your feedback and find out what you're doing with the service, so please keep in touch.